So we were all introduced to basic concepts of astronomy in third grade, right? Like, I remember. But the first time that I was introduced into astronomy, my third grade teacher, Miss Stevenson, she asked the whole class a question. She asked, who here has seen the moon and the sun and the sky at the same time? And I was like, well, I have. Like, haven't we all seen it? So like little third grade me was like, oh, I have. So I raised my hand and she said, okay, who else here agrees with Abby? And to my surprise, only one more kid raised their hand, and that was my friend Kevin. And he's like, well, I've seen it too. So then she says, okay, I need you to go outside and find the moon and the sky and the sun in the sky right now. And then we're like, okay, that's super easy, because in that class we got extra credit for participating. So we're like, this is gonna be super fun. So we go outside and it's a sunny day, and we're like, okay, well, we see the sun, but we don't see the moon. And we're like, what's going on? We've seen it every single day for the past weeks. What happened to the moon? So we're like, okay, we can't find it. So we decide to go back into the classroom, and we're like, okay, Ms. Stevenson, we can't find the moon. We saw the sun, but we swear to you that we've seen it. We've seen both of them at the same time. So then she says, okay, go sit down, and we do. And she starts explaining that depending on the rotation of the Earth and the seasons, it depends on whether you can see the moon during the broad daylight. And so I'm thinking okay, what do you mean seasons? What does that have to do? Yeah, it's cold and it's hot some days, but so what? So she starts introducing the sun and then the solar system and the planets, and then back then, you can remember there was 9 planets, but there's no longer a planet. And so I'm getting really interested in this just because I love science, and I start doing very well in astronomy, I guess. And I start picking up anything that I can read in the library based on astronomy or space, and I start watching anything that has remotely anything to do with space, or Star Trek and anything basically. And so I'm getting really interested in it, and as time's going by, okay, whatever. So towards the end of the science term, she says, okay, I need you to do a diorama on what your favorite part was that you learned. And then I'm like, well, everything was fun for me. So I go to Michael's really excited with my mom, and we're like, okay, let's buy foam spheres and a black giant poster. And so I'm coloring the spheres according to the books that I'm reading, and I'm trying to base the size of them, so Jupiter has to be really big and Mercury has to be really small. And I'm super stoked about this just because I was dang, I know everything there is to know about astronomy. So I started presenting, and I'm okay, to my surprise, everybody else in the solar system, I thought I would be the only overachiever, but I wasn't. So I forget about it just because I like science, like I said, and so we learned something else. And towards the end of the year, Ms. Stevenson says, okay, we're going to go to an assembly in the multi-purpose room, and I'm really excited for you guys to see it. We were kind of excited too because we're in third grade. So we walk into the multi-purpose room, and it's pitch black, and there's this huge tent inside the room, and I'm like, okay, is this in PE where you grab the fabric and you run into the middle and you run out, it kind of blows up into this big balloon thing? And well, maybe it's black, it's pitch black because the material has lights in it. It's gonna be a jellyfish. This is super fun. I'm ready to work out. And we go inside, and the person instructing the assembly says, okay, I need you guys to sit around the circumference of the tent. So we do, and I'm like, okay, what do you mean we have to sit down? That way we're gonna play? I thought this was a game. And he starts talking, and it's still pitch black, and I'm I don't feel comfortable with a man speaking to me in the dark. I'm afraid of the dark, and I'm afraid of strangers. So he starts talking, and suddenly there's projection lights that light up the ceiling, and it's the starry sky, and I'm wow, this is really cool because I've only seen this in books. I've never seen it in life. I know that they were just light projections, but to me it was really amazing. So he starts talking about constellations, and he starts doing the tic-tac-toe with his little button, and it activates it. And right there and then, as a third grader, I was okay, this is what I want to do for the rest of my life. This is my true passion. I want to learn everything there is about astronomy. I want to be an astronomer. And that was, to me, that was the best day of my life, just because I knew what my passion was in life. And